Greetings everyone and welcome to a facts only video right now. As you guys know, I'm traveling in Nevada, but my eyes are completely on Syria, on Ukraine, and this update right now is about Syria. One of the reasons we need to focus on, in fact, what's interesting, I saw a poll on Professor Gertis's channel, and we know Professor Gertis explains UA and all of our commitment and partnership in supporting Ukraine. He asked a poll question in his community tab, and it asked, should we be talking about Syria? Even though we are so strong in supporting Ukraine, are these, connected? Should we be talking about it? And it was an overwhelming yes. People wanting to know about Syria, understand the connections, and see how all of these international things are playing out together. So for this facts only, we need to talk about Syria. I'm here to tell you right now, Syria is falling. I have been checking all my messages this morning from the Middle East. I have my key points here written down, and I want to update you guys. These are facts. Syria is falling. The Assad regime forces are fleeing Damascus right now. I can tell you that opposition rebel forces are within 6 kilometers of certain countryside locations of the city of Damascus. Not Hum, not Aleppo, Damascus. They're that close. We also know that as Assad's forces are withdrawing, and many of them actually are taking heavy equipment to the nation of Iraq. What will happen with that? Who knows? We shall see. But as they are fleeing, they are blowing up munition depots, fuel depots. Everything is being destroyed on their way out. Donald Trump coming out a couple of hours ago and stating, the United States is watching this from a distance. As I come into office and the president in January, we are hands off on this. We are watching. We will see how things unfold. But right now, we're letting that play out because there's so many things at play. It's just facts only, guys. This is what was stated on his tweet. I can tell you right now that parts of the Assad family are in the United Arab Emirates, and another part of his family is in Moscow, Russia itself. And just about 15 minutes ago, more of his family was departing from Moscow. No confirmation that Assad himself is in Moscow. As of right now, believed to still be in Damascus. I can also confirm for you right now, factually, the general staff of the Syrian army, Assad's army, has departed their headquarters in Damascus. I can also confirm for you, this is coming through my friends in Israel and the Mossad guys that I am friends with. I can tell you that the Air Command headquarters in Damascus, they have also departed their headquarters. Guys, the military leadership has abandoned their headquarters in Damascus. What is that telling you? Additionally, yesterday, I reported to you guys that the 210th of the IDF moved into that Syrian border there in the Golan Heights. And I can tell you additionally today, Israel massively increasing their troop buildup in the Golan Heights area on the Syrian border. Speaking about borders, yesterday I misspoke by accident. I meant to say Jordan, but I said Georgia, and I pinned a comment about that as far as the Jordanian border with Syria being closed. As I told you before, 6 kilometers is how far rebels are from Damascus. The last couple of things right now, we are hearing that Assad will address the nation. It was supposed to have happened about an hour ago, but it has not happened yet as of the recording of this video. But Assad is to address the Syrian nation. We shall see what happens in regard to that. Now, this is where it gets interesting, even thinking about Ukraine. There is an emergency meeting on Syria called for tonight. We know that many national leaders are in France and Europe right now, Zelensky and Trump and Macron and all of those. They're for the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris that burnt many years ago. But tonight in Doha, there is an emergency meeting taking place with the leaders of, and I'm not talking presidents, we can call it delegations or leaderships of the following nations will meet in Doha tonight: Turkey, Iran, Russia, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. These nations will be meeting in Doha tonight. So in that list, of course, you don't hear Lebanon, you don't hear Israel, of course not the United States. Trump saying we're out. And I know, well, Trump's not the president. I understand that. But right now, the United States is hands off on what is happening there for the most part in this overthrow of the evil Assad regime, the puppet dictatorship that Vladimir Putin has set into place. Now, if we take all of that information, and that is the information up to this point I'm sharing with you, how does that affect other nations? How does that affect Ukraine? Well, I can tell you right now that Ukraine, reeling from some very devastating attacks in the cities of Kryvyi Rih and Zaporizhia. In Zaporizhia itself, 10 were killed, 24 were wounded. In Kryvyi Rih, 3 were killed, multiple wounded. And this was yesterday. We see there were some minor drone strikes last night. I can tell you that the intensity right now in southern Ukraine, the battles for Kharkov, which is very close to falling, and then the additional pressure coming on Pokrovsk and Mirnograd and Chasiv Yar and Toretsk. It's devastating there right now, guys. And you say, okay, well, you talk about the cities, and now you flipped over and you're talking about Ukraine a little bit. How could this affect? Well, guys, a lot of equipment is being pulled back out of Syria. Russia's been moving it out already. As I remind you, Russia had 120 installations, 86 of which were military encampments or bases in Syria. I remind you that it was just about a week ago, Israel struck 3 Russian outposts there on the Lebanese-Syrian border. This has been building. Russia has been moving their stuff out. Now, they've lost a lot of stuff. They lost air defense systems. They've lost MLRS systems. It's falling. It's run away from, but they've moved a lot of stuff out. And we know Vladimir Putin directly said, Syria, sorry. We've got other things going on. We cannot come to your rescue. We cannot come to your aid in the level that you may have expected us to. And that makes complete sense, guys. Why? Because they can't. They're fighting a war in Ukraine, and they're stretched to their max. They're trying to overthrow and destabilize Georgia. They're trying to overthrow and destabilize Moldova. They're trying to manipulate the elections in Romania, and that election was overturned by the Supreme Court, and we shall see what unfolds from that. They're working on their relations with North Korea and China, and their hands are in pots in Africa everywhere. So Syria, sorry, but logically, it's not the place we're going to be. So what does that do? Guys, there were tens of thousands Russian soldiers scattered throughout Syria. Where will they now go? There was thousands of PMCs, private military corporations, yes, like the old Prigozhin Wagnerites, the Wagnerites, scattered throughout Syria. There's still a lot of equipment, airplanes, air defense, systems for artillery that are out. Do they come to Ukraine? Will this bring now another push? Because the Kremlin itself said, we have other interests that are more pressing. And of course, guys, we all know that number one of those for them is the war that they are waging and the genocide in Ukraine. So all of this unfolding right now, this is facts only. Everything I'm sharing with you is a fact, getting it directly out of there. Unfortunately, I still don't get it. I mean, the nation of Syria is falling right now. All of these nations, I just listed the nations that will meet tonight: Turkey, Iran, Russia, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, Qatar, Saudi. We see Donald Trump's words about that region, Putin's words about that region. And in general, on mainstream news, nothing. Nobody's talking about it. And guys, I'm here to tell you, I stand by it. And, you know, even with Prof. Gertis's poll that he did on the community post, you understand here. You understand how important this is, and we will do our best to bring you the facts. I'm getting this information direct from people and sources I trust. Right now, we shall see a lot of things are changing in Syria, and for sure, it can affect Ukraine and the rest of the world. We'll see. Thank you for being here on this video, and we'll be back soon.